We're live.
We're live! Action! Welcome, friends. Hello. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Money Monday. Money Monday, friends. This could be the start of the best week of your life. I just love Mondays. I was recording a podcast today and I'm like, man, there's something about Mondays where literally it doesn't matter what your previous week was like. Something about Mondays, guys, it's a fresh start, a great chance to kind of, get our ish together, try some new things, and take some risks in business and learn how to do something that you may not have known how to do before. And with that being said, you guys, I know that you guys, actually, I was going to say this person to my right, but I actually think it might be your left because StreamYard likes to flip-flop things. But I know that you guys know this beautiful face. Isn't she so pretty?
I love you.
I'm so excited to have this conversation. Obviously, I am not John Melton, and I'm not even his beautiful wife, Nadia. But for those of you I have not had the pleasure to meet yet, my name is Jenn Cooper. Here's a virtual handshake. It's so great to meet you. I have been an entrepreneur for 9 years now. 9 years I've been in the direct selling space, and I also have my own sales coaching business. So those two things I focus heavily on. And today's conversation is going to be a little bit more advanced, for some of you that are hoping to do more of the automation route, more of the, collecting information and giving people something valuable in return for that information. And I hope you guys heard that. We're not thinking when we talk about emails and funnels, what this really needs to be is, hey, what can I give to the people right now that could help them out a lot? And then in exchange, if I help enough people do with something that they need, asking for their information in return shouldn't feel uncomfortable or weird. In fact, it should be really exciting for you guys. And then down the road, when you have a captive audience and people that know you, they know the value that you continue to bring, that you're constantly giving them little nuggets to help them succeed more or learn how to do things better, that's when you can create something really magical. And for those of you that don't know, my beautiful friend, Michelle Cunningham, she is a master at doing just this. And the best part about Michelle, oh my God, so many things. But the best part is that she has a way of really nurturing and loving her audience, really giving to people from a place of service, not what she's trying to get, what she's trying to give to them and help them do for themselves. She is a genius when it comes to building an email list, building out funnels. I remember when I first met her in person, we'd already known each other for a few years, and then we were like roommates at Funnel Hackers Live. And I remember her saying how the first course she ever purchased, was it Amy Porterfield or Marie Forleo?
Well, Marie Forleo was one of the first. Yeah. The first one was an organizing one. But yes, Marie Forleo was right after that. Yeah.
I love that you took that information, like back before email lists and funnel creations were like a really big deal. You were an early adopter and you took it and you just ran with it. You committed to it, and what you have built it's uncommon. In fact, I would go so far to say that most people, there's probably like on a short list of these three fingers, the people that have accomplished what you have in this regard. So Michelle, I love you. I'm super fired up to ask you some great questions. Get in here and introduce yourself to people and let them know kind of how you fell into this whole email and funnel creation in your business to do so wildly well.
Yeah. It's so good to be here. Hi, Craig. I see everyone commenting. I'm like, yes. Hi, Christine. Hi, Jen. Hi, Petra. Hi, King Larry Dennis. Okay. I get so excited when there's people here. So very exciting. By the way, Jen and I have like hung out in person. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like hanging out with my best friend here. So this is really fun. super interactive. I love it. So I feel like I can tell you the ending of the story, but like that's not fair because there's a beginning of the story, which I think is really imperative to share, that I'm just a shy girl from humble beginnings. My mom was a single mom. I come from very little. My goal as a child from 0 to 18 was to be able to afford Pantene shampoo like the rich kids. Okay. So I just want to put it in perspective of where we came from, because I couldn't afford big apples like the rich kids, you know, the ones that are not in the bag, the big apples at the store, and I couldn't afford Pantene shampoo. And so those are my life goals as a kid. But I knew that because I grew up with so little, I'm like, man, people have money, seem to have choices that I don't have. And so, like, I've always been very money motivated for security that I didn't have as a kid. And not that my life was completely insecure, but we just didn't have money, right? So we run out of money, or like at the church getting food. That is how I grew up. And so I share that because when I don't share that part of the story is somewhat annoying. You know, you're like, oh, you're just lucky. I'm like, well, no, I worked really hard and I had to learn a lot of things, and I'm kind of not smart on some things, but I somehow figured it out. And now I'm working and I want to show you how to do it. So that's really the backstory. But I graduated college, right? I paid my way through college, waiting tables at Applebee's on the weekends, 40 hours on the weekend, paid my way through college while all the other rich kids were in the sororities doing the rich kid things. Not me, my friend. I was out hustling. But I graduated college, landed my dream job as a pharmaceutical sales rep, thought I would do that forever. And then I realized, oh, wait, this is kind of boring and stupid, like not fulfilling at all. Right. And so my coworker at the time, his name was Sam. He's like, hey, my wife sells this beauty product alongside like her real job. And I'm like, yes, I am into extra work for more money. Like, just yes. What is that? And so I go to the Radisson Hotel with her at 22 years old. And there's a lady in the room, the front of the room, making six figures. Another one's a millionaire. Another one's driving a free car. And I'm like, dude, this is either a fantastic opportunity or these people are great scam artists, but I don't know which one it is. So I go home and I tell my mom, and my mom confirmed that indeed it was totally a scam and I should not get involved in this industry. And I'm like, shoot, maybe my mom is right. I'm like, but maybe I'm 23 and I shouldn't listen to my mom. Maybe I won't listen to her on this one. So I didn't, right? I took a risk and glad I didn't listen to mom on this one. And I ended up signing up with that company. Didn't do anything for the next 6 years because I'm an introvert, shy, awkward, didn't have a lot of friends in the new area I had just moved to right out of college. And so I was like, I can't do this. So I didn't for 6 years until I was 29 years old. Then I got fed up enough with corporate America, right? Say fed up enough if you've ever been there. I was fed up enough. And I'm like, dude, I need to get out of here. I'm like, maybe I'll make this thing work because I know other people are making it work. I just don't know how to do it. And so I finally figured out how to make it work. I found a mentor. She showed me what to do. And in 6 months after meeting her, I went from 0 customers to 300 customers, 0 team members to 50 team members, 0 free car to earning the company car, 0 leadership position to top 1%, right? In 6 months. And so for the network marketers that are watching, things can change very, very quickly. And I was a network marketer in 2009 that was hustling in the field, right? Like I was out in the field meeting people. And that's how I built my business. I built most of my business through text message and through lead generating locally initially. But then I started to learn about the world of social media. And I can then share how things started to take off in the world of social media, Jen, how I then shifted from like in person to also doing it online and having some wins that way. And then how I supercharged it.
Yes. Can I ask you one quick question?
Yes.
You said that you did all that in 6 months.
Months.
Can
Yeah.
I ask you what was like the reason and that determination? I mean, guys, can you imagine turbocharging your business in 6 months to do what Michelle did? Tell them what did you don't have to go into like all the details, but what was
Sure.
the motivation behind it?
You know, honestly, I think it was probably this one thing, Jen. I went to this lady's house. Like I ended up like going online and finding a lady that worked for the company. I'm like, hi, my upline lives in like Florida. I'm in Ohio. You seem to do this. Can you show me what to do? And she was like, yes, come to our meeting on Monday. So I went to her house and I remember sitting in this house, little white ranch house, like nothing like crazy, right? But she was a top leader in the company. And I was like, oh, I love this. Like I loved that she wasn't like super flashy. She was a top leader. She was like very careful with her money. She had the fancy car from the company. And there was only 10 of us at her house sitting in little folding chairs in her living room. And as she's talking to us, this red rash forms all over her neck, red like camouflage. And she goes, see this? I get this because I have social anxiety, you guys. You know, I had a really tough childhood. I still get nervous talking in front of people, but I'll tell you something. Successful women feel the fear and do it anyway. And I was like, oh, like I literally didn't know that. At 29 years old, I did not know that. I thought successful women like came from wealthy families, like had everything handed to them. And I just have always felt like broken, like less than those around me. Cause I grew up so much of my life was that. Right. And so I was like, well, I could never do this. Cause like, I'm not super smart and I'm not really savvy. And like, I had all these like stories I told myself. And so her like gave me the permission that like, wait, anyone can do this. Successful women just feel the fear and they do it anyway. I'm like, good, because this has been really scary for me. I'm like, if that's the case, then I'll just keep doing scary things and we'll see what happens. And that is literally, I mean, that was such a pivotal thing for me. Plus this motivation of, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the saying from Tony Robbins, but it was like, the burn the boat. If you look up, don't watch it with kids around because they says a bad word in it. But he's like, burn the boat. You've got to burn the boat. Like be on an island by yourself. There's no other options. Like what you committed to is the only thing you need to commit to. You don't look left. You don't look right. And I made that decision. Like there was nothing else that existed in this world but this company I'd signed up for. And dude, I'm going all in with this. Like, and I literally went all in. And it's so simple, right? It is so simple to ignore the distractions, pay attention to one message, and just run with it. And that simple idea really, really changed my business. So I just got really obsessed with it. I also got a little crazy and I quit my job. My husband at the time was like, I was like, I really want to go all in with this. He's like, yeah, but you're in real estate. I'm like, real estate's not working right now. It's 2009. Nothing is selling. It's broken. Real estate is very broken this year. He's like, okay, well, I was like, so I'm going to do this. He's like, you're going to go do that. You haven't done that for 6 years. I'm like, I know, but I'm going to do it. He's now my husband, by the way. I'm going to do it. He's like, okay, how about this? I was like, he's like, how about you get a real job? I'm like, how about you give me 6 months? And if it doesn't work, I'll get a real job. He's like, okay. And then I was like, oh no, I got to do it now. Cause he said, okay. But it was good because I was motivated. In my head, I was like, if it didn't work in 6 months, I had to get a real job. That was like essentially like going to jail. And I'm like, I am not going to jail. I'm like going to do this. And like, I just made this psychotic commitment that like, I will go meet people today. Even this would go to networking events. Like I would do random things. And that really changed everything for me. So all of you are just, a quick decision away from a completely different life, which is so crazy, right? Or you can double your business if you're already in a place you love it. That's what's so crazy. Crazy. You're on mute. I don't hear you anymore. Did I do something? How do I not hear you anymore? Do you guys hear her? Is that me? It's okay. I don't need to hear you. No, I can't hear you, but I saw you say, can you hear me now? Can you guys hear her? Now I can.
Oh, so sorry, friends.
Oh.
Anyways, you burned the boat.
I burned the boat.
You did.
Yes. Yeah.
6 months till jail, and you're like, no, I ain't going.
Not going to jail, right? Someone joined in, like, she's going to jail. I'm like, not really, just sort of.
So then what happened? You became successful really quick because you drew your line, you burned your boat, you got to work, even though you were fearful, even though you got the hives. Then what happened?
Well, then what started to happen is because this shy introvert from humble beginnings was winning, people in my company were like, how are you doing it? How are you doing it? But like there was 2 million people in my company, right? And so the amount of messages I started to get, or it was so crazy. I go to company events, like lines would form around me, like, just hey, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many. This is so exciting. This is like the coolest thing in my whole life, right? Like that is a very cool feeling. But I was also like, oh no, there's only one of me and I'm going to lose my voice trying to tell everyone what to do. I'm like, I better start making videos. So I started a YouTube channel, right? And I was like, I'm going to start sharing strategies. And so I started sharing my strategies of how I was doing what I was doing. And at the same time, I took a course from Marie Forleo, which was a pretty good course, but completely over my head. This was in 2009, 2010, completely over my head. But all I learned from Marie Forleo is that we should get people on our email list. Okay. And that's all I learned from her. And I'm like, okay, I'll make videos and I'll get people on my email list and then I'll email them. That's all I'm going to do because that's all I understand at this point. And this is so from 2010 to about 2017, I know to make videos and get people on my email list. And if you learn one thing from me, just know that. Just do that to start because it was the biggest, coolest, stupidest thing I did. I just didn't know what I was doing. But in the process of making YouTube videos, sharing what I was doing, and say, hey, if you want my next YouTube video, I didn't even have a freebie to give away. But if you want my next YouTube I launched, just go to my website and drop your email. That's what I did. And 12,000 people did that over the course of the next few years. Okay. Kind of like, I wasn't paying attention to it. I don't even think I knew how to log in to like check how many people were on the email thing. Right. So I never really paid attention to the numbers. Don't really care. Right. I mean, now
you were focused on loving them.
Yeah, if you just focus on like loving on people, serving, giving, it's just like so crazy what can happen. So I get 12,000 people on my email list, and it was 2017. This is a very pivotal moment. I got a phone call from my YouTube videos. I'm just sharing again strategies. Now, I need to share with you that YouTube channel because I was sharing strategies with network marketers, just like, hey, here's what I did today, like when a party canceled, or here's what I did today to get more leads. And it was generic. It was just serving whoever. And it was because I really truly wanted to help all the people in my company, but my company didn't allow me to say our company name. And I'm like, okay. But it was good because then it was serving like the whole industry. And I'm like, sweet. I didn't mean for that to happen, but wow, that was cool. Right. A lot of my building has been like that. Like, oh man, I didn't know that was going to happen like that, but that was actually really smart. So like make it generic, serve a lot of people. So that's what I did. But what I didn't realize is that, you know who was watching me? I had a channel serving network marketers, direct sellers, social sellers. Who was watching it? Network marketers, direct sellers, social sellers. Were they the number one in their company? Probably not, because they probably wouldn't watch me because they already knew what to do. People that were struggling were watching me, right? And some of them might have been struggling for a few years watching me and then said, you know what? I've been looking for a good leader. I really like this girl. Or I had people that had sat out of the industry for a few years, were looking to come back in, looking for someone that knew the way. And so what I remember in 2017, maybe earlier than that, someone reached out to me and said, hey, I've been following you on YouTube for a year or two. I really like you. I like your style. Actually, it was 3 months into it. 3 months into it. So this might have been like 2010, 2011. I've been following you on YouTube for the last 3 months. I really like what you're doing. I would love to join your team. And I remember messaging my mentor, and she goes, "Don't, yeah, that's shady. You know that's never good." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, because it was such a weird thing to happen in 2010, right? It's like a weird thing. And so I remember reaching out to the girl, scared, and she was awesome. And like we totally hit it off. We had kids the same age. She had hypothyroidism like I do. She talked fast like I do. We were like same energy. And she's like, yes, I want to join your team. I'm like, yes. She did. And she joined my team. And over the next few years, many people found me from that YouTube channel. And initially, it was just one person a month would find me and join my team. Now, again, I'm still hosting my parties, doing my other things, doing my virtual stuff, but I had people finding me from that channel. And at the height of it, I had 5 people a month finding me from that channel asking to join my team. I left the industry actually in 2019, which I'll share that story in a second. But even after leaving, I still had people, still to this day, I have people asking to join my team. Okay. So I just share that with you because it is so crazy when you build a YouTube channel and you serve, love, and give, that thing can carry and work for you forever and ever and ever. Looks like Jenn is frozen. Okay. I lost Jenn. It's okay though. I can still hang. I'm okay. So anyway, so that was the YouTube channel. Like it really did start to bring people to me. And I share that with you because like literally you just never know by serving, loving, and giving who you will attract to you. All right. So then I get a call in 2017. And it was a CEO of a company, and their sales reps had been watching my training. And I had never talked to a CEO, not even in a company I'd worked with. I couldn't believe a CEO was on the phone with me. I was like shell shocked, right? He was like, our sales reps love you. They've been following your training. It's really working for them. And I'm like, stop it. I was like, keep it cool, Michelle. Act like act like this is normal and be a professional, right? Because I was so excited. He's like, we would love to fly you out and have you come train. Can you tell us your fee? And this is 2017. I don't have a fee. I would have done it for free at that point because I was just doing YouTube for free because I didn't know you could make money from this stuff, right? I was making money from my network marketing business over here. And so he says, what's your fee? I talked to my husband about it, and I'm like, I'll email you my fee. So I talked to my husband, and my husband's like, what would you want to get paid to leave the kids? You hate leaving the kids. My kids were little at the time. And I'm like, I don't know. What's the fee? Like 2,500? That seems a lot. He's like, yeah, maybe that's too much. I'm like, well, he goes, well, you know what? Tell him. He's probably going to say no. I'm like, okay, you're right. Okay, I'll just tell him. And then it's fine. This will be good. So I say 2,500, which I don't realize that's actually low, but whatever. At the time, I'm like, it's a big deal for me. I say 2,500. He says, great, we'll send you a check today. And as he's hanging up the phone, we have a pivotal, crazy moment that happens. He goes, please bring along your training program. You can sell it at the event. And I'm like, holy cow, this guy thinks I'm a bigger deal than I am. I just make free YouTube videos. He doesn't know that. But don't say that, Michelle. Don't admit that. Just go make a training program. So I say, okay, great. Yeah, I'll bring it along. Thanks. Bye. And I fall on the ground. I'm lying like in my lobby of my house, like or the front door. I call it the lobby because it sounds fancier. I'm lying by the front door. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And my husband's like, what? Because his office is right there. I'm like, he said, bring my training. He's like, do you have one? I'm like, no, I don't have one. So I'm like, I don't have a training. Hi, Jenn. Welcome to the party.
Power went out. So sorry.
Oh my gosh. So crazy. I'm at the point of the story where a CEO has asked me to come speak and he asked me to bring my training, but I don't have a training. So I say yes. And then I hang up the phone and then I'm lying on the floor in the front of my house. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I say to my husband, I'll make one. He's like, you will? I'm like, yes. I'm like, what do I do? And at the time I was following Sarah Robbins. And Sarah Robbins had a CD and I kept seeing her ads and I was like, whoa, she's so cute. Like she's cute little blonde, would pop up and I'd see an ad, but I didn't know it was an ad. I didn't know what it was. I'm like, so I clicked on her and she had a CD and you could buy it for $70. I'm like, well, that's a lot of money for a CD. I'm like, but I'm going to buy it. It's going to change my life. Right. So I bought her CD. So that's all I knew. So I'm like, okay, I'll make a CD. So I Google how to make a CD, and that becomes my first product that I sell. And so that becomes the first thing I'm selling, and I bring along to the event. People buy it to come home with extra, and that is 2017, February 2017. I'm like, I have extra. Now what do I do with them? And that's when I was like, well, I better learn how to sell these, right? So I was like forced to sell them because I had printed 300 and I sold like, I don't know, 70. So I had a bunch of extra ones. And so I said, okay, I'm going to put them on a website. And I let them sit there for a few years. Didn't do much. They'd sell 1 or 2 a month. And I was stoked to make 17 times 2, $34 a month. I was like, I am so good at this. I was so good. And I was excited because I had my network marketing business over here. I'm making money, but I'm making $34 on my CD for a few years. And every time a sale comes in, I'm like, dude, that's like Starbucks. Like it was like 3 or 4 Starbucks for me. And I was like so thrilled. So that happened. And then in 2019, I saw an ad from Russell Brunson for funnels. Okay. And I watched it, and he's like, I had a potato gun and I sold a potato gun with a funnel. And I'm like, huh. And I liked him because he was like relatable. He didn't seem too smart. He talked very basic, and I'm pretty basic. I'm like, keep it pretty basic for me, sir. And so he kept it basic, and I was like, I could build a funnel maybe. So I learned how to build a funnel, and I put my CDs on a funnel, and that becomes my first thing. And I start putting it out there, but just still selling only like 300 a month, which I am thrilled. Like to me, I have figured out the world. Okay. But it's only 300. But I'm like, well, if I could do 300, maybe I could do more. And I read his book called Traffic Secrets. Okay. And so Traffic Secrets, I'm just telling you the story, and then I'll give you some tips on like here how to build this out. But so I read Traffic Secrets, and I realize I don't have enough traffic. And I realize there's 3 types of traffic. Traffic you earn is your social media followings. Traffic you own is your email list. I'm like, okay, I have some followers. I have some I own on my email list. And then there's traffic you can buy. I'm like, oh, shoot, I don't have that last one. You can buy traffic? I'm like, sign me up for that. Like, if I can buy traffic and do it profitably, I would do that. So, not knowing anything, I go into the ClickFunnels group. I'm like, does anyone know how to like get traffic through Facebook ads? Clueless. And inevitably, me being such a rookie and a newbie, I get 8 million messages. Hey, I'm a Facebook ad manager. I'm like, oh, apparently that's a title. It's a thing that people do. I didn't know. Right. So I ended up hiring a Facebook ad manager in January of 2019. And they ran my first ad. And that month I don't remember what we spent. I said, I don't have the money. If you don't, you got to pay for yourself, you little ad people. Okay. I don't get how it works, but I'm going to give you some money. You got to pay for yourself. You got to make me money to be able to work for me the next month. You got it? And they're like, got it. I'm like, okay, thank you. So that was the rule. Like, you can't lose me money. And so I gave them some money. They ran some ads, and they doubled the money. Right. And it just kept doubling every month or every week. And I was like, well, okay, spend more then, and then spend more. And so I never used my own money, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yes.
And so they ran the ads, and they brought me all these people. And I think we did like 50 or 60,000 in sales that month. And it didn't cost me anything. And I was like, huh. I'm like, I like ads because I reached way more people than like I was making 300. I'm like, 50,000. I think it was even 70,000. It was a lot. I was like, I was like, whoa. Well, anyway, I end up a few months later meeting someone else who's like, you should launch some other courses. You could help more people. And I'm like, yeah, I could definitely, like, I know how to do Facebook Lives. And like, I sold $20,000 on a Facebook Live and recruited 20 people. I could train on that. And so I create that course. And so then I put that course out to the world. Okay. So all that to say is while I'm doing all of this, I am building my email list, right? And I'm building my email list, and I'm serving up value, and I've got things to sell. Now, do you have to have things to sell? I'll tell you stories on how it could be additional revenue stream for you that brings you more business, or how you could just do the funneling idea, just like I did, where I'm bringing people in and they're joining my network marketing business. I mean, it's so powerful. So anyway, that first year, not really knowing what I'm doing while I'm still in network marketing, I accidentally do just shy of $1 million in revenue. Somewhat cluelessly. And I'm like, whoa, I feel like this is so amazing because I'm selling the CD. I've got some other things that I end up launching. And so anyway, that is kind of the beginning part of the story. And so it ended up growing so big that I did not need my network marketing business. I would say this. It didn't work well with my network marketing company. They did not really allow me to have this other side hustle. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine because this is making me way more money, and I'm going to go do this. And I really, really do love to create courses. And so, anyway, so that is the story. And then last year we had our best year ever. We quadrupled what we've started at, and it's been a crazy, crazy ride. But what my passion is showing people how you can start to to funnel people into your ecosystem, nurture them, and ultimately turn this into $1 million business for your network marketing business. You can turn it into $1 million additional income stream. It can turn into something so, so big for you. And so I wanted to show you a little bit of those tips on exactly how you can do that, because I started out so clueless and I still am learning, like a little kid. I'm still learning, but it works.
I think everybody's feeling so inspired that you just said basically how small you started, and also that you didn't really know, like you didn't necessarily learn how to do everything, prior to stepping foot into uncharted waters. Like, friends, and I also love, that's so important for any entrepreneur. Like, guys, yes or no, are you guilty of feeling like you need to fully understand something before you get your feet wet and before you try something out? Are you busy like training, buying the course, buying this and that before you've stepped forward? Like, I know that's really common as an entrepreneur, and what Michelle just shared was basically proof that you can succeed and earn so greatly as you are learning. You are learning and earning. And what else did you say? There was something really, real. Oh, when you were talking about reinvesting, how you never really spent the money because you were essentially taking a cut of the profit and reinvesting it into the business. I feel like sometimes people get caught up in well, how much is that going to cost? How much will that cost me if I get help from an assistant? Or if I, how much is it going to cost me to start a funnel? Or how much is it going to cost me to do a landing page? When in actuality, you've got to be thinking about worth more than cost. And you basically set the precedence and said, hey, if you want to work with me next month, you've got to pay yourself with what you're doing for me this month. And I love that. I love the idea of reinvesting equity into your business and continuing to scale the more you're reinvesting. So question for you, Michelle, because and by the way, knowing that you ran your first ad in 2019, guys, that was not that long ago. That was like just shortly before you were forced to stay in home for a long time, right? Yeah. That was not that long ago. Imagine if you took a step forward and banked on you, what would that mean 5 years from now? I mean, holy cow. That 5 years, or like 2019, that was so like yesterday. It was not long ago. Back when I started kind of getting this idea of, I didn't know I was doing a funnel. I didn't know I just knew that I had stuff to give. And I started bringing people into a private community on Facebook and just giving them stuff, giving them tips and tricks around sales, trying to help them sell more without feeling like a weirdo. And that's when I kind of first got the funneling people in type of strategy, but I didn't really gather it would be a good idea to ask people upon entry, hey, what's your best email? What's your best contact info? Upon coming into my free community where they could get so much value simply in exchange for their info. What would you share with someone, maybe like me back then, I was brand new, kind of walk us through setting up a successful sales funnel? Like, what does that look like in the beginning for our new friends?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing that I learned, and I learned this from Russell Brunson, right? I study a lot of the greats in the network marketing, internet marketing, digital marketing world. It's like all I pay attention to. I don't watch the news or do anything else. I just watch marketing people. But literally, one of the things he said is that for every one person on your email list, you can anticipate $1 in revenue per month forever with appropriate marketing. So again, for every one person on your email list, $1 in revenue per month forever with appropriate marketing. One person on your email list, $1 a month. 1,000 people on your email list, $1,000 a month. 10,000 people on your email list, $10,000 a month. 50,000 people on your email list, you get the picture, right? So I was like, okay, got it. I'm going to, get people on my email list. But initially, I had 12,000 people on my email list from this YouTube thing. There was no appropriate marketing. I wasn't selling anything because I didn't think no one would buy from me. I just thought it was like they wouldn't want to buy from me. At least what I thought, right? I was wrong, right? And people are on your email list for one reason, and that is to buy from you. Think about every email you get. What are they doing? They're providing a message, but they're also selling something, right? So like literally they're selling something. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Like maybe I should actually like provide value, but then also provide a next step. So if you get my emails, what you'll see is there's always like, hey, my friends, we're going to be live today doing this free training, showing you this, this, and this. Like today, I'm going to be live at 5 p.m. showing people how to make better videos, right? But also I have a blah, 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 right? And so then I serve it up at the bottom for people that want the next level. And so my goal with building my email list is to create a piece of content, whatever content I release for that day, is to have that funnel into my email list. And so you'll see this on my Instagram channel, the Michelle Cunningham. You will see me on my Instagram. I will say things like right now I'm in the middle of promoting something, and John can drop the link for this, but it is my 5-minute video creator. I'm showing people how to start to show up on videos better and how to make vertical videos in under 5 minutes, like how to come up with the idea, how to film it, edit it, and post it with the caption in under 5 minutes. It's the framework that I use as a busy mom, right? So I put together a training called the 5-minute video creator. And so that training right now, when I make a video, I'm wanting to send people to that training, right? And so you'll see the link there, mylifestyleacademy.com/video. But literally, when I make a video now, I talk about the topic I'm going to talk about in the video. It's related to video. And then in there, I'll say, so comment fast if you'd like information about how to make fast videos. And so they comment fast. What does it do? It either sends them to a landing page, or in this instance, it's sending them to a sales page, right? But a lot of times I have people comment I have different numbers because we use a ManyChat robot. But I have a video tools one that gives them my favorite microphones, my favorite lights, my favorite whatever. And so people will comment tools, but we actually use a number for that one. But anyway, they comment the number on my videos, and my robot automatically sends them a link to a landing page. And on that landing page, they drop in their email. We can show you an example of that landing page. We have it down at the bottom here. And so we'll wait for them to pop it up on the screen, but there's a landing page that I send people to. So this is an example of this is called a landing page. It's called an opt-in. It's called an email capture page. You call it a freebie page. I mean, people call it all different things, but like, think about what could you give away for free to your audience to help them get to the next level. And so when I pay attention to what my audience asks for, I get asked all the time, Michelle, what's the microphone that you're using? Or Michelle, how do you look so good on video? Or like, how did you brighten up your background like that? Like what? So there's like a special ring light I have right here. And there's a special camera I have that's artificial intelligence. It like lightens up the scene. And there's a special microphone I use. And then I have a special microphone I use with my phone that I'm obsessed with. But I get asked that all the time. So I put together a free guide and I give them links to all of my favorite stuff, right? So now guess what? Those people are on my email list. So for every one person on my email list, $1 in revenue per month with appropriate marketing. Well, now I know someone who's gotten on my email list to grab this free guide, probably interested in making videos. Guess what? I happen to have a course about making videos. But I want to bring this full circle for those of you that might be network marketers. And I'd be curious what you sell in the chat, because I'd love to share how we can do this if we're a network marketer, right? I actually helped a network marketer. She sells a weight loss supplement. Right? You drink this little stuff, it helps you lose weight. I'm like, yes, okay. So she comes to me, she's like, I've lost a bunch of weight. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, do you have a landing page where you're capturing emails? Not really. I'm like, okay, let's put together a guide for these people, right? I was like, do you want to be a weight loss influencer? Or like what? Because you can go different directions on this, right? Like I sold beauty and skincare, but I was not a beauty, and I don't get into that stuff. I don't care about that. But what I care about is like making money and like, network marketing strategies is how I first started, right? So, I see. I see people, we've got proactive wellness, financial professionals. Okay. So all different industries in here. So what I recommended for her is, you're a weight loss. Okay. Let's put together a weight loss guide. Like, do you have something? She's like, yes, the formula I use is this, this, and this. I'm like, cool. Let's call it a cool name. We're going to give it 3 words. And so we came up with a catchy name for it. I can't remember the name of it now, but it was like, just something catchy. We go into ChatGPT. We use ChatGPT. We say, hey, I'm creating a weight loss course. I want to help people lose weight. I want it to be 3 words. I want it to be catchy. Oh, I remember what we called it, but I won't say it just for whatever. But it was about reducing calories, right? So it's like the reducing calorie course. And I'm like, yes, this is what we'll do, right? So we put together this freebie that people opt into. And so instead of calling it like my 10 steps to reducing your weight and looking thinner, nobody wants that. But if you give it a catchy 3-word name, like the calorie, supercharger, or the lose weight fast, supercharged, but something way better than that because we put it in ChatGPT to come up with something really perfect, then you're able to say things like, hey guys, so I put together a guide for you. It's called my bleh. Like my current one I'm promoting is the 5-minute video creator, right? And it becomes very easy to say and roll off of your tongue. And that's what I teach, anyone I'm working with. I'm like, just make it something really simple, this free guide that we can give away. Make it something that roll off your tongue. So when you're live or you do a video, you're like, hey, if you haven't grabbed my 5-minute video creator, that's where I'm going to show you how to blah, 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 blah. Whereas you give the freebie a name. So she started getting people on her email list. And I'm like, okay, now that we started to build an email list, what could we sell? She's like, well, ultimately, I just want to sell my weight loss supplement. I'm like, okay, why don't we sell a digital course before the weight loss supplement? She's like, well, is that going to work? I'm like, well, what'll happen is people will come in, they'll take your course, they'll learn from you, they're going to know you. While being a part of that course, they're going to start to like you, and they're going to start to trust you. And then they're going to want anything you recommend. So within that course, let's tuck your network marketing products in there. She's like, oh, that's really smart. I'm like, yes, it sure is. Okay, so let's do it that way. So that's what we did is we created a course and we taught people her system for losing weight. And in there, she said, you know what? There are a few supplements I take that have really helped my journey. Here's, exercises. Here's the water. Here's the diet. Here's the this. And here's the supplements I recommend. And what happened from that is she had tons and tons of people buy her supplement. But guess what? They were handing her money first, right? So they were buying her course. She made multiple 6 figures from that launch in that first month, multiple 6 figures, right? Just for people handing her money for that course. She also had a pretty big following, right? But they grabbed her course. And then from there, now they were buying her supplements and coming into her community and buying more from her because she had built the know, like, and trust factor. And so it's a freebie landing page. Get them on your email list. What could you have for something that you could sell? And then that leads to your services, right? Where they get to know you. And I even been following lately, I pay attention to every company out there that's marketing, but cookie companies now that sell cookies are leading with a digital course, right? They're like, would you like to learn to bake cookies from home? We're going to show you how to do it. And then, they teach you the whole strategy, right? And then on the back end, they're like, and we sell cookies. Do you want our cookies? We'll send them to you. And I'm like, that's so funny. But they're collecting revenue on the front end from digital courses. And so just know that there's something in your brain that can help people. And when I started, like literally when I first started, I was so scared to make videos and I was like, I don't know who I am. I'm like, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's just start making videos and serve. But I started to just put my knowledge out there. And then it just doors and opportunities started to open. So I can't say I had it all figured out. And so for those of you who are like, but what would I do? I'm like, let's just start first with let's make one video and start talking about a topic that you could talk about for the next 5 years that you really enjoy talking about. Right? Like I initially started, I was going to just serve network marketers. But then it has morphed over time where people are like, how do you make videos? How do you show up in video? How do you get confident on camera? I'm like, oh, I can teach you that. Right. And now I teach people the whole system of like how to build an email list, how to launch a course, how to do all the things. But that's not how I started because I didn't know how to do any of that. And so just you taking action, you have no idea what doors and opportunities will open for you. And that's what's so crazy about it is you just start to put yourself out there and then things start to happen. But in the process, build your email list the entire time because it's so crazy what can start to happen.
Right? And God, there's so much gold here. You guys, I would love for you to drop in the chat. What part did you love so far? What part did you hear that you're like, oh my God, like you wrote it down and you circled it a few times on your paper? I love it because, by the way, if you did take a nugget like that, it spoke to you for a reason. I want to encourage you, don't let it just sit there on your paper. When we're done today, take it and go do something with it. Michelle, what I'm really taking a lot from here is that the market will tell us what's good, right? Like while people might be sitting there overthinking, gosh, what would I talk about? Gosh, what would my lead magnet be? Like what would my freebie be? I think that's hard to say, freebie be. But I think that at the end of the day, guys, we kind of have to trust putting things out there and seeing what the market tells us they need. Pay attention, collect data as you start to do videos and have conversations about things that you feel can help people. See what they respond to most. That'll give you some direction. Michelle, when people want to set up a lead magnet right now, what are some like maybe do's and don'ts in regard? Because that's really like the first step, right? Is getting the lead magnet out there. What are some do's and don'ts, in your opinion, for people that are just getting started?
Yeah, what I see people
that need to brush up what they already have.
Right. Well, here's what I see because I'll see it with my students. I give them the framework and then they come back and like, here. And I'm like, okay, it's almost there, but here's what's wrong and here's what we need to fix. Right. What I usually say to my students is, that's a B, but let me help you make it an A. That's what I say. That's a nice way to say, like, okay, you did that a little wrong, but let's fix it. Right. So, how do we take a B and make it an A? So, the platform I love for landing pages is Flowdesk, Flodesk. John may have an affiliate link to them because you can save money if you have someone's affiliate link. So, maybe they have an affiliate link for it, but Flowdesk, Flodesk, super simple. And basically on Flowdesk, you can put an image on one side and then text at the top and then email or name and email. Okay. We want the least amount of fields possible, not name, email, address. The more fields we give, the less it converts, right? So name, email, and a green button. Green buttons convert better than a pink or a blue button. So a lot of people are like, oh, like all over the colors. I'm like, no, but make it green, like the Google green. Like go to Google, find what one of the letters in green. It's like that, just green, like the green crayon. Okay. This is not the right green. It's like, this is the wrong green, like the green crayon. Green converts better. It's just known because people go to the sales page and they're like, I just want to buy this thing. And you're like, where's the green button? Right? So green pops up on a page. So when you make your button blue like the rest of your page, they're like wanting to buy. If you create enough annoyance, they're like, you're annoying. I can't find your green button. I just wanted to buy the thing. I see it on people's pages all the time. Like, where is your button? They put it at the top and at the bottom, and I'm in the middle. I'm like, I just want to buy the thing. Now I'm annoyed. All right, I'm out. Like, so just make it very simple for people to buy, right? But they're just opting in. We just want to make it simple. Put a green button. And then the text at the top. So we want the text at the top to be similar to the text in the image, to be similar to the video they came from. So if I am like, hey guys, I want to show you how to make way better videos. If you want to know the microphone that I use to have really good audio, see, this is me with the microphone. Oh, this is me without the microphone. Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. You can notice a difference. All right, if you want to know exactly what this is, all you have to do is comment tools. And I'm going to give you my exact tool list of my favorite tools, right? And I think I call it my video equipment list, which it could be way better than that. But this is before I knew my rule about the 3 words. But so to grab my video equipment list, all you need to do is drop the word whatever below. So now they're going to the page. That page needs to mirror what that video just said. Hey, would you like my video equipment list with my favorite video equipment to make awesome videos? If so, just drop your name and your email below. Sometimes we get to this page and I see people go, hey, I'm so glad you're here. I have a YouTube channel and I'd like to share with you about my YouTube channel. And I do make videos too. And then I also like to make, there's some more video stuff over here. And then down below, just drop your email. I'm like, dude, that's not clear.
You're saying you need to be less words and really mirror those simple words from the call to action, and then when they come over, it's got to be matching. It's got to parallel.
Simple. 3 sentences, right? Hey, do you want to make better videos? If so, I'm so glad you're here. Here's my video equipment guide that's going to show you all the video equipment you need to make awesome videos. Drop your email below. And it's just right. And the image over here. Here's my video equipment guide that's going to show you all the tools that you need to make awesome videos. I mean, it is so redundant. So like the good thing about me is I think like a 5th grader. I don't have how some people know a lot of big words. I am not that girl. I'm very simple, but simplicity is what sells, right? So video to the video equipment thing matches up the same messaging. They click the green button and there's clarity. So we don't need to make it fancier. We don't need to make it smarter. And I see a lot of doctors that hire me, the doctors are so smart. They want to elevate and kick it up a notch. I'm like, no, just keep it very basic. Very basic. They want the thing. Let's give them the thing. And so that's your goal with that freebie opt-in page. And then if we want, like I saw King Larry Dennis said he has 285 people on his list. So when he said that, I'm like, sweet, like that means it's working. Now we just need to be super loud, right? So I love to watch people like Eric Worre and Tony Robbins and like the guys that are just everywhere. It's literally everywhere. And I'm like,
Alex Hormozi.
Alex Hormozi. They're just everywhere, right? They're massively building email lists. And so how louder could you be? Could you get live more frequently? Can you post your stories more frequently? Can you get more reels going? Can you repurpose your reels? And so all of those things help to build your email list. So crazy, right? Just little tiny things you can do.
It really is. And that's, guys, wouldn't you agree? That's not difficult. Those are very simple first steps. Now, Michelle, now that you've got people, say you've got people starting to opt in, I just started a whole new project. Like I'm taking a hard left in my work right now, and I'm really excited about it. But now I've got people coming in. What do you suggest as people are, they have people coming in? What are the most effective ways to, to nurture and love their people. And by the way, I just want to say again, guys, there is nobody better than Michelle at making people feel special, important, and that they are loved exactly where they're at. And I swear, I believe that is why people will come to you and literally never met you in person. They literally have fallen in love with you because of how you've nurtured them, that they will just cut you a check for 10 grand or more to be at your retreats. And it's remarkable. And it just says that you have the ability to really connect with people. What do people do now that they have them coming in? What are the best ways to love on them and really help them out, make it worth their time to hang out with you?
Yeah. I think truly in my heart, I would do a lot of this for free. Like that's just who I am. But I'm like, free does not serve the world, right? And when we give things away for free, we don't help people get to the next level. And so I do need to charge because when someone puts down money, now they're actually taking action. They're like, this is serious. I will do it. And they're getting to the next level. And I watch it happen time and time again. And so that my heart is to do things for free. And so I try to always lead with that I have free stuff available for people. Right. So like today at 5 o'clock, I'm going free. I'm going to show you how to make videos in under 5 minutes. I'm going to show you my framework. Right. But I'm going to give you like a 20-minute training there. But if you really want the deep dive, I actually have a course. So I'll offer that today. But also while I'm live, I'm also going to do some giveaways and be silly. Anyone who orders while I'm on the spot, we actually, for this mailer, we're shipping out her 5-minute video creator. We mail everyone a 5-minute timer and we're mailing them a framework and a sticker and a love note. And we're putting it in this cute envelope. Right.
Okay,
But,
that's brilliant.
Like just so silly, right? But this stuff, right? So people come in and they're like, oh, I want to get that gift. So when I'm live, what I've been doing is when someone orders when I'm live, just a little thing, but these are tiny things. I get these earrings for $1 on Amazon, right? And I tell them that I'm like, these are very cheap, but you get a ton of compliments when you wear them. So anyone who orders right now, I'm going to stick these in your order. You tell me what color you want. I hold up all the earrings. People are picking earring colors and I'm adding them into the order and shipping them out, right? So I'll do that again today at 5. But again, it's just silly. It's little things, but it's the extra touch. So when I see people get them, they're like, got my earrings. They're wearing their earrings. They're holding their package. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Right. So we think about what are the little extra things you could do that made people feel super duper special, right? Like it might be a very special delivery from Michelle. I put a little cute sticker on it, right? These cost me like nothing. I think they're less than 10 cents a sticker on the bulk we order them from Vistaprint. But it's like little things like that. So I do that. But I also make sure my emails lead with free stuff. So, hey friends, today I'm going to be live at 5 p.m. doing a free training, right? So that, and then at the bottom is like, and if you didn't grab a spot in my upcoming blah, 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 it's here. So people can't come to me and be like, you're always selling something. I'm like, no, but I do a lot of free stuff for you too. There's a lot of free. I got some YouTubes. I got reels I do for free for you. I got this over here. Then I have $47 stuff or like cheaper stuff for people. But then I also I have group coaching, right? For like $6,500. I've got a beach retreat for $12,000. And I got one-on-one coaching for $20,000. I've got levels, but I can help people for free or for 47 or for this price or this price or this price. And I feel good about that in my heart. Right. And so that's the nice thing about it is you can feel good about where you serve people based on what works best for them at where they're at in their life. And it doesn't feel like you're just selling, right? You legitimately, I'm helping people at the level that they want to be helped at, which is different for every person.
That is such an incredible point, Michelle, because I feel the same way as you. And I have paid mentors a lot of money that have told me, to really lean into selling something. And guys, I am a sales coach. So that does, resonate with me, but I resonate more with what Michelle is sharing. Because when people ask me how I got going in my coaching and how, where did you start? I don't even know where to begin, Cooper. What did it look like for you? And I said, I literally gave away my best stuff for free for 3 years at least, just to get practice and just to collect data and see what people liked. And I actually was very fulfilled in giving like crazy without being tied to anything. I really enjoyed just giving it. So my very first launch, I think I closed 50 people. And that was, I was like, oh my God, do they know that they did that? Like, it was like, at first I was like, nobody's ever going to give me money. Why would they invest in me? But they knew me. So what Michelle is telling you is help them get to know you, not just as a person and your quirky sides, but also help them learn how you give. Help them learn what it is you're about and where your expertise lies. Because sometimes people may make it through your funnel and be like, not really my cup of tea. But there will be some people that keep going, and when they make it to your bigger program, I bet you create some incredible connections and deep relationships with people that probably already feel like your BFFs and you've never met.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure. We become best friends in the process, right? Some of the people I work, I know their whole business. I know everything they're doing, right? Like I love that. So it's so crazy. But then I also get connected to even people that get some free stuff. I see them on all my lives. They're like my buddies. I'm like, oh, hey, like you get to know your audience. It's really, really fulfilling. And you can do it in a way that's just really authentic. I think initially when I started, if I look back at my YouTube channel from 10 years ago, I initially was going to be an organizing guru. And then I remembered about 9 or 6 videos in, I don't like organizing. I like to be organized, but I don't like the art of organizing. You know how these chicks like to organize bins? I'm like, that's so annoying to me, right? But I like to watch their videos, but I don't like to do it. But I thought I was going to be an organizing guru. So I start making those videos. But in those videos, which was really good practice for me, I'm so fake because I think people want a professional version of me. So I'm like, hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be organizing the cabinet behind me. Let's dive in. And so, because I was watching other people do it that way, and I'm like, okay, that's how I'll do it. But what I realized is that actually people trust your true, authentic voice. I remember hearing that, and I was like, really? They're like, women can sniff a fake a mile away. So if you're being fake and you're not being your authentic self, they're not going to trust you. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I think I was doing that wrong. Okay, hold on. I'll just be me then. But me is a little weird. I do say funny things and I'm kind of dumb sometimes. And like, I'm just silly. But if I can do that and get away with it, and I feel like when watching Russell Brunson gave me permission to just be like, all right, well, I do say like and totally. And like, I'm kind of all over the place, but not, I'm organized in my thoughts. But I just, when I have a funny thought that I want to share, I just share it now versus before I'd be like, oh, let me be so buttoned up. But I'll tell you, it's potentially a huge secret is to actually just be you, right? Because then people like when they meet you and they're like, you're actually like that. You're even you're like even more crazy than you are online, but you really are like that. I'm like, yes, you. So you can actually you have a gift just in who you are. And you might say, well, I can't do this because so and so is doing it. I'm like, dude, if someone is doing what you want to do, that is evidence there is a need for it, and there's nobody doing it in your exact voice. You're the only one that was gifted that voice. Some people, I train the same stuff as many other people over here, but they're super buttoned up. They're very professional. They're not really silly, right? And I'm like, I'm a little silly and weird. So like, that's maybe what makes me different, but that's like the gift, right? So you have a gift, the way that you would present it, that people will be attracted to. So that's what's so exciting for all of us is nobody has our unique voice. And that is our gift for the world,
Oh my gosh, this is so good. You guys, I think that you've gotten a lot of value out of today. And I sure hope that if not for nothing, you're like, okay, these girls are pretty cool. And I know you're thinking they're really pretty too. Just kidding, kind of. You're like, man, if I could be, kind of normal like them, I am normal like them. Maybe I just need to press play. Maybe I just need to test some waters and get myself out there, and start today collecting that information. Michelle, as we're wrapping up, why is it important? Do you feel for people, especially if they're building in the online space, especially if they're network marketers? We've got lots of them on here, but even small business owners can relate as well. Why is it so important that they have access to their own distribution list, in your opinion? Why do they need to be doing this?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if YouTube shuts down or Facebook shuts down or Instagram shuts down or they just shut you down, you know what I mean? You know how they do sometimes shut people's accounts down for no good reason?
Didn't that happen a few weeks ago?
Yeah, it just happens to so many people. They're like, oh my gosh. I'm like, if I got locked out of all my social media accounts, it wouldn't matter, right? I've got more people on my email list than I do on my social media following, right? And so I share that with you because it's so imperative that you have an email list because, again, for every one person on our email list, it's $1 in revenue. And so as you keep building that, and it just keeps building and building and building. And so I tell my students, I'm like, dude, imagine when we're like retired and we like don't even have energy for the day and we're in our rocking chair and we're rocking back and forth. And we're like, I'm too tired to do anything today. Can you send an email? Yes, you can, my friend. Like click, type it. You gotta move your fingers and then hit send. Like it's the most minimal amount of energy. for the most like maximum result. Like so crazy what can happen from sending an email. Like we did it this weekend. I'm like, oh, we can go like buy a car. It's so crazy. But like that is the reality. Does it happen overnight? No. But like that is the reality now is I can create things that can like purchase cars in like a weekend. And it's possible for any of us, right? But it doesn't happen overnight. It's years of serving, loving, giving, and just consistently showing up and doing what you love to help people. And it is so crazy. I believe our efforts are blessed. And the more efforts you put out there, the more blessings come your way. And I'm never so focused on the result, but just focused on building that email list. And the outcome will not be determined by me. It'll be determined by, what it is that I'm putting out there and who needs it. And I want it to reach the right people that need it in that moment, whoever that might be, right? Certainly isn't everyone every time. So it's crazy.
That is so true. And I don't remember who said this, friends, but it just sparked when you said that our mission in life is to discover our gifts, and our purpose is to give them away. And what if starting to, put some things out there to help people out? What if you realized, oh, I actually am really good at this. Oh, people really do need help with that. Or maybe you're like, hey, I'm not really organized like Michelle, so I shouldn't be teaching on organization. But like collecting data and seeing how you may help people most, that really is the true way. Every dollar comes from a relationship. And this is how we build relationships. We give and we give, especially in the online space. This is how it works.
Yeah.
God, this is so good. I have like a whole page of notes. Michelle, thank you for spending this time with us. And can we just give a quick shout out, friends, to John and Nadia Melton, who they will never throw in a towel or say they can't show up. They have so many deep-rooted connections and relationships. Like, I'm so honored anytime that he invites us to, hey, can you host my show? It's like, yes. Well, I can't say no, so I guess I'm going to ignore my baby or figure out something, because you don't say no to the Meltons. They are people that give and give and give and give. And it's no question why they are as wildly sought out and as wildly successful as they are. Don't you think, Michelle?
I always tell my audience, I'm like, dude, you want to watch someone who does this totally right? John and Nadia Melton. I mean, I all the time, every week, I'm like, dude, you guys want to see someone who does this really well, right? He's a network marketer, but you don't know what company he's with. He's attracting people by the value he provides. You know he's successful by the posts that he makes, but you're curious about who is this guy and what does he do? And I'll never forget the first time I messaged John. I saw him on Justice Egan had a summit and he was on it. And I'm like, who's that guy? He's like, wow, he's so confident and cool. And I started to watch him and I'm like, what does he sell? What is this madness? But it got me so curious. And I was still in my network marketing at the time. I remember reaching out to him. He's like, oh, hey, I'm so glad you asked. Like, let me show you a little bit more. And I was like, smooth. This guy is smooth like butter. But I was so into it. So he puts me in the Facebook group. He's showing me about his company. And I remember writing to him and being like, your company, because it was so smarter than what the company I was with at the time. It was like really smart what they were doing. And I go, that's annoying what you just showed me, because I'm a top leader in my company. I'm not ready to hear that it can be that easy what you were doing. But I literally remember being like, that was annoying, but that is awesome. And wow, that is so annoying. I think that's my response to him. But then I just have watched him for years and been so impressed by the way that he markets. He serves through My Lifestyle Academy, right? The branding is so on point. I mean, if you guys want to learn how to do it right, like I have even said to him, like, you've helped me elevate my branding, where I'm like, holy cow, like I can't have a bad headshot. We must look awesome in the headshot. We must have good branding colors and like really no spelling errors on any pages. Like it is very, very impressive what John and Nadia have done. And so, yeah, when he invited me, I'm like, yes, I am here because you guys are legends. So I respect you guys so much. So such an honor.
Well, we love you, and we're so excited to watch what you're doing out there. You guys, if you have not seen yet, I know that you've seen in the comments here and there. The team has done a great job dropping Michelle's video program in what's the title of it again? The 5-minute video.
5-minute video creator. MyLifestyleAcademy.com/video was the link.
It's in the comments, guys. It's also up in the captions in case you're wondering what she was talking about. All of us should be thinking video is non-optional, friends. It is the fastest, most organic way for people to get to know you and love you for all your awesomeness. Yes, you too, Mary Leona. You too, Petra and Sonia. You guys, check this out. Videos are non-optional if you're building business right now, and in today's marketplace. And this will absolutely help you keep it simple, move faster, especially for those of you that are crazy busy out there while you're building your empire alongside. All right, my friends, I hope you have an amazing day. We love you, Michelle, and we'll see you soon. Okay, dear?
I love you. Thanks,
Mwah.
Jen. Mwah.
Bye.